No cloud cost, no data loss, breaking every single law. Local binary power, building out an armored flaw. Air gap, Docker sandbox, locked inside the wire. Ignite the war room agents, setting code on fire. Holographic figures running through the neon script. Critique the kernel logic from the data that we ripped. Low latency connection to a real-time vocal stream. This is the genesis, the cybernetic dream.
What if I told you that you don't need to pay 20 bucks a month for advanced voice mode or wait on a wait list for access to Devin? We just dropped Genesis Grid 5.3 and we packed it with the 5 most insane cutting-edge AI features on the market, and it runs 100% locally on your hardware. We are talking about an autonomous war room where AI agents literally argue with each other to write you bulletproof code. We built a Devin-level software engineer agent that executes untrusted code inside an air-gapped Docker sandbox so you don't get hacked. We gave it a visual Chrome browser so it can actually see the web. And the best part? We hard-coded a zero latency, fully interruptible, real-time voice mode. You can literally talk over it, and it stops to listen. No APIs, no cloud fees, just raw, local cybernetic power. Let me show you how we built it. Feature number 1. Real-time interruptible voice, the holy grail. We wanted ChatGPT Advanced Voice mode, but without the privacy concerns. We cracked open the native web speech API and wired it directly into the chat engine. It listens to you continuously with zero latency. When the AI talks back using your computer's native text-to-speech, you can literally interrupt it mid-sentence. The moment you start speaking, it cuts itself off and listens to your new instructions. It feels like you are talking to Jarvis, and it doesn't use a single drop of cloud bandwidth. Can you tell me what your model is skilled in?
My neural architecture is optimized for high-level technical execution across several core domains. My skill set is categorized as follows. ############################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################### language proficiency * mastery over 350 plus natural and programming languages, including Python, Rust, JavaScript, TypeScript, C++, SQL, Swift, and more. Rapid prototyping * developing functional scripts and back-end logic in real time. #####2. Mod design and architecture. Game engineering * designing complex modifications for game systems, including asset integration, script hooking, and environmental overhauls. Logic mapping * mapping out complex interactions within software environments to ensure stability during mod injection. ####3. System operations and optimization. Environment tuning * optimizing local hardware performance and system configuration for high-demand applications.
And just like that, we get our answer. Feature number 2, the Docker sandbox. But writing code is not enough. We wanted Genesis Grid to be able to run the code, just like Devin. But letting an autonomous AI run arbitrary bash commands on your Windows machine is basically begging to get hacked. So, we built an air-gapped Docker sandbox natively into the Rust backend. When the Cypher agent writes a unit test, it doesn't run it on your OS. Genesis Grid automatically spins up a lightweight Alpine Linux container, cuts off its internet access, mounts your project, runs the test, grabs the compiler errors, and instantly destroys the container. It is a true zero-trust execution environment. Feature number 3, the Omni Index. Next, we needed to give the AI a massive memory upgrade, but we refused to pay for cloud vector databases or bloat the app with heavy C++ libraries. Enter the Omni Index. Since Genesis Grid already uses Olama, we hotwired our Rust backend to silently ping Olama's local embedding API. It rapidly converts all your personal documents into vectors and stores them in a microscopic flat JSON file on your hard drive. We wrote a custom cosine similarity calculator in Rust that finds your data in milliseconds. It is a 100% free, offline local RAG system. Feature number 4, the Visual Browser Agent. Text-based web searching is dead. Modern websites are heavy JavaScript single-page apps. If your AI cannot render JavaScript, it is blind. To fix this, we integrated a Playwright Python sidecar. Now, when the Oracle agent needs to research something, it literally spawns a headless Chrome AM browser, waits for the network to idle, extracts the DOM accessibility tree, and even snaps a base 64 JPEG screenshot of the screen to see what a human sees. Feature number 5, the war room. And last, we had to fix the biggest problem with AI coding hallucinations. If you ask an AI to write a complex script, it usually messes up on the first try. So, we built the war room. Instead of one AI trying to guess the answer, we split the brain in two. You have a blue team coder that writes the code, and a red team security architect whose only job is to rip that code apart and find vulnerabilities. When you hit send, they iterate in the background up to 3 times. The coder writes it, the critic breaks it, the coder fixes it. You don't see the final output until the architect explicitly types approve. The result? Flawless, secure code on the first try. We just pushed all of this code to GitHub on version 3.0. Genesis Grid is completely open source and waiting for you to clone it. The link is in the description. If you want to see a full deep dive tutorial on how we built the Rust Docker sandbox or the war room logic, drop a comment below and let me know. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next update, and I will see you in the grid.
No cloud cost, no data loss, breaking every single law. Local binary power, building out an armored flaw. Air gap, Docker sandbox, locked inside the wire. Ignite the war room agents, setting code on fire. Holographic figures running through the neon script. Critique the kernel logic from the data that we ripped. Low latency connection to a real-time vocal stream. This is the Genesis, the cybernetic dream.